my 2024 no buy list. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Celesta. We talk about all things luxury shopping and handbags. If you love those things, be sure to subscribe, hit that bell notification, and do post videos every week. Okay, so I have been meaning to do this for a little bit now. I usually try to do like some sort of like no buy list every year, along with a wish list. I feel like these are almost like anti-goals. Like you set up a wish list because these are like the goals that you're like working towards to get, but then these are kind of like anti-goals, but also still goals in a way, because you're like, I know myself, I know I should not be buying this item. So I have quite a few items on this list, so let's just jump right into it. Okay, so the first two are brands in general. The first one being no new Chanel. This was actually on my 2023 no buy list, and the reason I had this on my no buy list was because I felt like they were just constantly increasing their prices. The quality was just not matching up to the prices that you were getting. In addition to that, I also feel like you can find pre-loved Chanel right now for a very reasonable price compared to the retail price. Like you can find a almost new like 2022, 2023 Chanel Classic Lab for about $8,000 in very good condition, versus right now it's retailing for over $10,000. Plus, there's a rumored, like, what, 17% price increase again. They said it was gonna happen in January, and I don't know, I'm unsure. But, like, at the end of the day, I just don't feel like spending that much money on a bag that doesn't feel unique is worth it to me. I just can't justify spending that much money on a brand that like the quality just doesn't match up to it. There are a few brands like Bottega that actually stand behind the quality. Like a lot of their bags now offer like lifetime warranty. So like that shows me that Bottega stands behind the quality. I've seen so many TikToks, especially of people on like getting a new Chanel bag and like the logo's falling off, the stitching's off. I think I saw it in either Barcelona or Madrid, and the stitching was completely off. Like one half of the bag looked like it was done by a completely different person. And how am I supposed to justify spending like $5,000 on that? I can't. And so for me, new Chanel is gonna be a no buy this year again. It's not to say I won't get like pre-loved Chanel. If I find a vintage Chanel bag that I really like at the price point that I really like, I think that that's worth it, but I don't feel like I want to spend that much money on new Chanel right now. Another brand that's kind of on my no buy list still, because there really hasn't been any change in management, is Balenciaga. I've kind of touched on this with quite a few videos, so I'm not gonna like dive too deep into it, but it does help that Balenciaga inherently wasn't really like my style to begin with. I'm very much like a girly pastel light color kind of bag girly, and so it does help that that's not exactly the style that I gravitate towards, but nonetheless, I just don't think that I will be purchasing from Balenciaga anytime soon. The next item are luxury tote bags. I have a lot of tote bags. I have a lot of big bags, and I really only use big bags for work. And I almost only work at home. There's maybe like once or twice a month I'll go into the office. And I know as soon as they're like, hey, like you need to return to office like 3 days a week, I'm gonna find another reason to justify buying yet another luxury tote bag, work bag, because I'm like, oh, you know, if I'm bringing this to work, I'm making money at work, so it pays for itself. The girl math is mathing, okay? But like, I really don't need it. Big bags just take up so much space in my closet. I just like I don't have the space for it. I hardly use my Dior book tote as it is, and I feel like usually with work bags, I'm gravitating towards like more affordable, like designers that don't have like big logos on them. So think like the Palen Seam. I've been using my Kuyana tote, my Baze tote. Like there's just other work bags that I would prioritize using for work compared to a luxury designer tote bag. In my usual like day-to-day life, I usually only carry a couple things like my card holder, phone, and sunglasses. So I really like don't have a need to bring such a large bag around. So this just has to be on my no buy list. I know this one's gonna be a little bit tricky, but it'll be fine. The next item on my list are black shoulder bags. I have a shoulder bag addiction. I absolutely recognize that, and I know that like I don't know what it is. I just gravitate towards shoulder bags because I feel like they just fit my proportions a little bit better. You don't have to worry about an adjustable strap. Like it works for me. And I know I have too many black shoulder bags. Like if you look behind me, there's the Prada, there's the Dior DJoy. In here, there's my Celine Triomphe. I'm sure there's more. I'm just blanking on which black ones I have, but there's so many black shoulder bags. I end up using the same few shoulder bags. So I need to set this for myself that I'm not doing any more black shoulder bags. The next item we have on this list are SLGs. This includes card holders, full-size wallets, passport holders, little like pouches, phone cases, like anything under the umbrella of SLG, I need to not. I very much realize that I tend to buy SLGs, especially if like I don't really know what I want to get from that brand or nothing's really speaking to me, but I'm just like itching to buy something, which is like, that's a problem in and of itself, but like I would much rather spend like a couple $100s here on this, a couple $100 here on that, instead of really just saving and like waiting for the specific item that I want. I have enough card holders. I have, I think, 2 or 3 card holders. I have a full-size wallet that I never use. I have little pouches that I was like, oh yeah, I'm totally gonna use this for, you know, to put like miscellaneous things in, and I only ever use those for travel, where I put like my camera or my chargers or like maybe a couple like emergency like makeup items, but I really don't use those every day. I can't justify getting, you know, a phone case, especially if I'm planning on getting the new phone coming up. Like there's just, it's so hard to not buy these things because you're like, oh, it's just a couple $100s. It's just, it's a quick purchase or whatever, but there's just no need for it. And I know that there's no need for it. So we're drawing that boundary. We're doing no SLGs this year. I think I said no SLGs last year too. And I ended up getting like the Celine flap card holder, which I do use every day. And my justification for that was that I missed having a canvas card holder that I can just throw around. And that kind of was that for me. But now I'm like, okay, no, we don't need it. We don't need it. I keep seeing that Louis Vuitton and all these brands are releasing very pretty colors, but we don't need it. Last but certainly not least on this list are designer shoes I will only wear once. Like I feel like when I'm buying designer shoes or specific shoes in general, I think of like this one specific occasion where I'm going to wear it. I got the Jimmy Choo Bing 100s for my friend's wedding. Did I need to spend $1,000 for a pair of shoes to my friend's wedding? She's like more of a coworker than like a best friend anyways, but like I need to stop making excuses for myself to buy these like one-time wear shoes. I do have a pair of Jimmy Choos that I wear all the time. There are shoes that I consistently wear. I pretty much wear like the same 3 or 4 pairs of shoes in rotation anyways, so there's really no need for me to like find a pair of shoes knowing I'm only gonna wear them once or twice for a specific event, and I just need to not do that anymore. The only tricky part is that we are going to 3 weddings this year, including my own, and my own wedding, I think that's an excuse to like, oh yeah, you can buy a pair of shoes for like a one-time wear, but other than that, I need to not be using these specific events or like work parties or like this or that as an excuse to buy a pair of shoes that I know I'm probably only going to wear once. Okay, that sums it up for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments what is in your 2024 no buy list. What are we not buying this year? I will leave another video for you guys here, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!